Whoa. Yo, the microphone audio is live. Ducka ducka. Yo, this shit works. Hold up. I'm back. Yo, so I nearly got AIDS and died, but now I'm okay. Alright, what are we doing? Yo, listen to this. Bang! Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Welcome everybody to Coleslaw Cup. There's probably the corner of your screen being in a strange black strangeness. Don't worry. That shit will all be illuminated shortly. We're just gonna make sure this shit is working. Ooh. Did I not change? Okay, I didn't change the scene. Okay. Hopefully you don't have the stream starting soon thing. That wasn't supposed to still be there. Are we good? Oh, I see a black W. I bet. Alright, are you ready? I need to get my controller. Got 15 people in the lobby. Currently. However, Scavney is planning on joining within qualifying. We had to wait a few extra minutes for, I believe it was M. Galloway, but he is here now. Let's do this. Whoa. Pepe, wow. I should have binded a key so I could just go bang and then Pepe wow is on the screen. That would have been cooler. Yo, normal people. Cake Thomas. Facts. Cool. No doubt I will probably catch an itchy nose and sneezing now that we're live. That seems to always be the the common drill, as it were. Let's get our shit sorted out here. What's going on? We've got we don't need the tyres. What? Tyres don't matter in qualifying anymore. Yeah, remember when they did? That's a mixed bag. That was a good change for the competitiveness of F1, I feel like, but it was probably detrimental to league racing itself. It just took away one little strategic element, though. It does obviously increase the advantage of the people that are quicker. Talking about going quicker, Dace has gone quicker than Shrek Coleslaw by a full 4/10 of a second. Jonathan Dunk can't quite beat him on this run. Yo, it's Landy. He's on his outlap. Guess who isn't on their outlap? Hightower. He driving, no joke. With a 114.1, just to remind everyone that they should have stayed at home. Right, I've got an idea, guys. We need to do a fundraiser. We need to raise enough funds for Hightower to pay Daniel Apt to race for him on one of these races. That's what we need to do. That'd be dope as fuck. Imagine the Coleslaw Cup cheating scandal. It's actually Daniel Apt. Professional racing driver Daniel Apt racing for Hightower. Scornsy up to P3, but no one anywhere near No Jug. Shock horror. Yo, it's VTech. Hola VTech. Here he goes. Shadow is on an out lap. Cynical is on a hot lap, and he's only a couple corners away from completing his lap, as we see a new lap time fly in there for someone. I'm not sure who. Across the line goes Cynical. A really good lap there from Cynical. 2/1000ths of a second away from Scornsy. That puts him in P4. Here. Meow. We see the Alfa Romeo making their way through the chicane. Not getting anywhere near the second apex there throughout that chicane, but he is still really pushing. Let's see if we can get some Lap data enabled. Data? I barely even know her. Straight back to reality. Through aqua minerale, or mineral water, as the cultured call it. Aggressive over the first part of the chicane, but keeps it within the track limits. Talking about track limits, that Alpine, it wasn't Galloway, is not keeping it on track limits. It must have been Dace, maybe? I don't think there are any other... Oh god, no, it was Galloway. He's been disqualified for going the wrong way. Anyway, we were following on board with Cynical. He pitted. No, we weren't. We were following on board with Shadow Rinix, or whatever the fuck his name is. He didn't improve by enough to get himself into the top 10. He's P11 currently. The real race is Scavney Racing to get here on time. VTEC is in the pits. Knuckles the goat at setting fires. Well known fact, actually. And you wouldn't think this is well known considering his whole career is a cover story. You'd think he'd keep it under wraps, but no. We do know as a matter of fact, this is not conjecture or hearsay, that Knuckles is a prolific arsonist who uses his cover as a firefighter to disguise his actions. There's been 5 cases of arson in the past week and Knuckles has been on the scene every single time. How suspicious. Not if he's a firefighter. Exposed. 89, that's a live tally of his victims. He'll be Knuckles 97 by the time we get to the next race. Hightower. Looked like he was going slow. Doesn't sound like it from on board. Whoa, that's a fun line. What on... That's not invalidated? What the hell? It's Jova. This better not be a competitive lap time. I'm guessing this is just an in-lap and he went slow when he went off track so he didn't get done for it. If he, like, just ends up getting P10 or something with this lap time, I'm swear to God. We are on strict corner cutting here, so it's not something you should be able to get away with. He's gone wide again there as well. Are they just not enforce track limits on this track? Huh? Oh. A-Dub approaches the final corner. Across the line he goes up into P3. I'm lost for words at that one. Imagine taking that wide of a line and still being P13. Oh no. Oh no. Can I... Can I pull some trickery here? I'm not going to be able to do this quick enough, am I? I've got the stream up on my phone, so if it just goes black, I'll come back. I think it has just gone black. Okay, we're back. Sorry, guys. Needed to do something really quickly. No Jug is just doing no Jug things. Decides to pit. Can't really be bothered going faster, so I'm come in the pits, why not? Do. Do slay your iced boxes as well. Scornsy is on the hot lap. Do. P7. Now, I don't know if I haven't mentioned this yet, but there is weather around for the race, so prepare to be entertained. The race will probably be at least 25 minutes longer than usual. Whoa! You're telling me you can take that corner without going 25 feet wide? It's Jova. That's wild. Orlando was just behind him. Unable to improve. Mercedes, woohoo, gets out of the way. I do hate how loud that is. It's so loud on board compared to off board. And I feel like it gets that loud that I don't hear my own voice, and so I just assume nobody else can hear it either, so I panic. Scornsy crosses the line, P4 for him. Cynical, what can he do? If I was being cynical, I'd say that he isn't going to improve. But I am, of course, hopelessly optimistic in life. Over the crest emerges the Alfa Romeo. And Scavney has joined, so he did make it on time. I'm sure we can speculate as to what he has been doing for the past 15 or so minutes. P4 for Cynical. And no reasonable suggestions, only outlandish theories, please. Here comes Hightower. Let's watch Hightower. Let's watch his lines. No Jug picks up a 5-place grid penalty for being cringe. What on earth? Okay, well, you know what? Last time No Jug wasn't on pole, I got optimistic that we'd have a good race, and then he drove off anyway. So I'm not even gonna go there. But hopefully he is upside down by turn 3. And I think Hightower's backed off. He has. Probably knew I was watching. Got my eye on you, pal. Here comes A-Dub. Anyway, he is starting a flying lap. We got about 3.5 minutes remaining in this session, so we may enter a slight lull for a moment. However, we do have A-Dub to keep us entertained. I need to keep using this. I've got now my Streamlabs controller. So I think if I hit this, you'll see an outdated picture of the driver's standings. And then I hit it back, and F1 comes back on again. Now I flip over to the stream to check that that actually did just happen. It did! Okay, this is epic. Pick up the Streamlabs controller. You use, I think you have to link it like over the same Wi-Fi network. So while I was in uni, for whatever reason, our Wi-Fi, like the big Wi-Fi for our building, just didn't allow that to happen. So no joke, sets a new fastest lap. Not like that's gonna matter. So it's good to know that now we've got that working, and someone retired from the session. It's A-Dub, following his previous trends. Okay, so who's on a lap now? So I think Shuri Coleslaw is on an outlap. Lanzi is also on an outlap. Slayerized is on a push lap, but who is going to be competing for pole? No Jug's set his time already, I think. He's not going to be able to get in and get back out again in time. Scornsy is on an outlap. Sharia is about to start his lap. So Sharia's there. Scornsy's behind him. Lansley's behind Sharia. Slayer Rise is behind. Hightower's ahead, but we're on about the fight for pole. He's backed off anyway. Fuse Rogue is up on his time as well, so we'll... Do we allow him to conclude? We shall not, as he has invalidated. Like a bozo. That is No Jug backing off so that cars can go by him. So we have... That's Scavney. So Scavney is the furthest ahead on a hot lap of the people that aren't bozos, so to speak. No offense. I mean, you know, I'm a bozo too. I'm a different bozo because I'm faster, but you know, I'm still a bozo. Whee! The other Red Bull is Landy, and he was off track. Still is off track. I'm going to go out on a limb here and suggest that perhaps, just maybe, Landy's not going to improve upon the P7 position that he's in currently. I know. It's bold. It's out there. Scavney has only one chance to alleviate himself of his P15 starting spot. Can't do it. I said that's his only chance. He will have another one, I suppose, because he did cross the line with just 5 seconds remaining. Let's go over to Sharia Coleslaw. He crossed the line and he did not improve. He does have the chance to push again if he so wishes. Landsey will not improve. Neither will Slayer Eyes. Neither will Hightower. Shadow Rinks is on a hot lap, as well as Scavney, I believe. Whoa, we saw something going on there. Never mind. That lap's not so hot. See? My nose is starting to get itchy. You know it's Coleslaw Cup. Honestly, I don't know what that's about. I really don't. I really don't. Is it possible to be allergic to the F1 game? Is that something that you can be allergic to? I mean, I'm not a doctor. But that's what I would diagnose myself with. Scavnicky, what are you doing, pal? Are you going to improve? Ooh, over the white lines there. The red light flashing to signify he has less than 10% of his battery remaining, crosses the line, cannot improve. Scavney will be starting P15. Shadow Rinks, of course, won't improve. Sharia Coleslaw has invalidated, so this will be your final, not grid positions, but your final qualifying results, as No Jug will drop all the way down to P6, I believe. That's how the penalties work. So, on at least taking pole position, although not starting on it, is No Jug with a 113.8. Dace behind him with a 114.2. He will start on pole for the race. Joining Dace on the front row of the grid will be Jonathan Dunk, and then we will have Scornsy. Cynical qualifies P5 and Sharia Coleslaw P6 as he gets wheeled into the garage. Lansley P7 and VTech P8. A good qualifying session there for VTech. A-Dub P9. He'll be wanting to work his way a little bit further up the grid. Then Slayerized in P10 with his MMR friend Hightower alongside him. Hey, it's not my fault they've got bloody MMR in front of their names. MMR. Come on. At least spell something funny. Honestly. Then we have Fuse Rogue, Shadow Rixin, Knuckles P14 with Scavney P15, and then Galloway P16 after getting himself disqualified. I think the charge the FIA gave him was disqualified for being a bozo. Let's go and have a look. Do we see it anywhere? I've probably gone past it. DSQ for incident being a bozo. Okay, just what I suspected. We shall soon be into qualifying, my friends. I would like to make a slight change. I'm going to do the funny real quick. I hope you guys don't mind. Oh, just hit cancel. That wasn't the button that I wanted to press. You know what? I'm not going to do the funny. Fuck doing the... We're not going to do the funny. I'm going to hit this button here called chess. And what that's going to do is that's going to bring up it's Jova. It is Jova. Right? But I should be able to click off it's Jova. And we can do some geoguessing because why not? Let's hope it doesn't lag too much. And oh my god, I mean, come on, what is this, man? This is so freaking cringe, man. I do not know where we are. Are those like the resolution's not even good? Like it's we've got nothing to work with here. Oh, this really doesn't help me, man. Are these like jungly trees? Any clues? Any clues at all? Man, I've got no idea where we are. Holy, let's just throw it down somewhere random. I don't even fucking... Oh, there you go. Alright, can we get a proper round? Okay. Gasthof Hotel Wolfsacher. Linz. Okay, if we want to speed run this, I think we're in Austria. If we run over here. Treffling, Mittertreffling, Gebergebheit. I want to say we're in Austria, and I'm going to say we're probably about, I don't know, there-ish? Okay. That's decent, that's decent, that's decent. Let me just double check. Oh my god, it's heavy torrential downpours. This looks like Japan, but it's not Japan. Is it New Zealand? What does that say? It says something city. I reckon. Yeah, it's New Zealand. Let's go like there-ish. Ah, it's a bit far away. Can we see some Nigerian police cars? I'd love to see a Nigerian police car on a stream for Shreya Coleslaw's League. We know how much he loves Nigerian police cars. Okay, they are on the outlap, so this is our final GeoGuess round. That is South America somewhere. Wrong side. Okay, we can finish this off because that's why I took a quick guess there. Where are we, guys? Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? Love to see that no one is participating in helping. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Help out a bit here. I have no idea where we are. Well, there we are. That was fun while for that tomato. You know what? Fuck, I'm just going to use Streamlabs to switch this over because it's quicker. F123, and then you guys should be able to see the game, which is what we all want to see. Okay, the stream has been reconnected, and we are approaching the starting grid. Or we aren't? There was no formation lap. Piss. Dace, Scornsey, Jonathan Dunk, Lanzi as we join at the start of the race. A-Dub looks to the inside but can't make the move. Where is Nojuk? He's fallen down to P12 and he's involved in an incident there with an Alpine. We've got a McLaren off. Nojuk has to skip the corner there. And it's all going mental, chicken oriental. Galloway's off in the same place that he was off during qualifying. Whoa, that was Shreya Coleslaw there taking the high tower qualifying line for that corner. It's already Doesn't seem quite as wet as it was at the very start. No Jug starting to make his way up. Hashtag that's what he said. Yeah, No Jug wants to put the pressure on Slayer Eyes. So Dace leads from Scornsey in P2, Jonathan Dunk in P3, and look at this, Slayer Eyes goes off the track. No Jug makes his way past pretty easily there, ever the opportunist. Dace sets a new fastest lap, a 1:25.555. Is that enough fives for you? Well, there's only 4 fives, we need 5 fives. Come on, Dace. High five. Shadow on the back of Shreya Coleslaw, but not really. It'd be closer if there was DRS, but obviously not in these conditions. And we have Fuse Row going at it with A-Dub. Traction control going brr in the rain. I don't even know if he uses traction control anymore. He may have decided to stop being cringe. Talking about cringe, here's Lanzy. He's the king of cringe. He's the most cringe individual I've ever known. Looks to the inside on Jonathan Dunk, and Jonathan Dunk takes a slightly wider line, but does retain the position for at least the time being. Lanzy, though, he's keeping the pressure on. Fuse Rogue also keeping the pressure on A-Dub, and he actually lifted off there, I think. He got such a run on A-Dub that he lifted off and waited. Decided to be more patient, but he's not being patient anymore. He's made that move on A-Dub and he's made it stick. Dace at 1:25.2. Improving once again as he begins to just completely drive away. No Jug-esque. Galloway picks up a 5-second time penalty for corner cutting because his race wasn't going badly enough already. Hey, if this was a full grid, you'd be 4th from the back. Fun fact. Doesn't really help you much, does it? But there we are. Sharia. He's on the back of A-Dub. A-Dub, he's on the back of Fuse Rogue. Fuse Rogue, he's going rogue. Not really, he's not really done anything, to be honest. He's just driving along. Just maintaining the status quo. He should go rogue, though. See what happens. M. Galloway style. Drive backwards. Why not? Cynical. Still quite close to Slayer Eyes. Not as close as what is going on here. MMR Hightower. He's behind Scavney. No, it's Jova. You can't be behind Scavney. We should run like an elimination type race where if you ever finish a lap behind Scavney, you automatically get like... You're gone. Talking about gone, A-Dub's gone past. No. True Console's gone past. Wait, what? Where the... Someone lost out there. I couldn't tell you who it was. Look, it's Dace. See, this is the perfect condition here for Dace because he's a fish, so he likes water. But if there's too much water, he drowns because he can't swim. So, conditions like this, where the rain is light or there's no rain at all, conditions are wet, it's perfect. He's like a Magikarp. He uses the move Splash, or whatever the hell that pointless move was. Shreya Coleslaw trying to stay within range of his teammate. Starting to drop back ever so slightly, but not as far back as what on earth is going on here. Shadow, what are you doing, pal? You could have gotten through that gap, mate. What were you can't wait for him. He'll throw a Molotov cocktail at you as he drives past. He'll be Knuckles 90 before the end of the race. Wayo, that was a throwback to qualifying. Hope you remembered that one. Please, won't you please take me home, yeah. Yeah, Shreya Coleslaw and Fuse Rogue, the closest 2 cars on track currently. And that's all I really have to say on the matter. VTech behind Scavney, not for long, ahead of Scavney. No Jug would like to make a move here on A-Dub as well. The track should begin to dry out now. The rain has stopped and we have a safety car for some reason. Beyond me, I ain't got a clue. Don't look at me. I'm not the commentator, I'm just the guy that watches the race and talks. So, this will open up strategic options. If you're far at the back, do you go for dries? And hope that after a couple laps of safety car it's dried up enough? It's drier than it was. That's the thing, F1 cars, probably the best vacuum cleaners on planet Earth. Driving around the track at incredibly high speeds, they do displace a lot of water. So the track will dry up quicker than what you'd expect. Just your average piece of tarmac lying there to dry up at. We will see. What does Dace do? Oh my goodness me. Dace is coming through the penultimate corner now. And here is his choice. He does decide to pit. And picks... Of course he fucking does. This man is eroding my will to live. Everybody's in. Not Fuse Rogue, he's too cool for that. What tyre is Dace on? That looks like mediums to me. Are they medium tyres? They are. Fuse Rogue got disqualified for being a bozo. Cool. MMR Hightower, he's continued on. Makes up a lot of positions, but at what cost? But the vast majority of cars are in now. Shadow will need to come in and get a new wing. And he's pretty far away from being able to do that. Oh my goodness me, what am I watching? Oh, why is this guy still alive? Just take his wheel off, please. I beg. I might play some Total War Rome 2 after this. What do you guys think? This guy's going to be behind the safety car. Not even after his pit stop, but before it. He's been overtaken by the safety car, ladies and gentlemen. He was not quick enough. Destroys an extra board marker for good measure. Continues running wide over the Aramco signage. Oh, sorry, Scavney. Scavney's just... I've not had the comments open on the thing because no one ever comments and they always just leave me hanging, so I thought, why didn't I have my controller up instead? And Scavney was asking me for an invite. I don't know when that message was sent. I do apologise, Scavney, but he is back in now, I believe, which is all that is important. I don't know if you're watching the stream, Scavney, or listening to it. I doubt you are. But if you are, then just give us a little wiggle in the car, just to show us that you are in the car, I suppose. Hightower finally into the pits as it becomes very apparent that the conditions have dried up and it is dry tyre time. Shadow Rinks leaving the session, fair enough. I would have done the same. The safety car should come in this lap, as I'd imagine Galloway will catch it up in time. Let's go have a look at what tyres everybody's on. So Dace leads the way on mediums, though that's a very big ask to take those mediums to the end. Hards from P2 to P6, and those should be able to make it to the end, I would imagine, because the hard tyres are pretty much indestructible. No Jug, Cynical, Slayer Eyes, Scavney all on the mediums, with VTech and Knuckles on the hards, Hightower on the mediums, and Galloway, the man on your screen, currently in the Alpine, on the hards. And yep, that is confirmation safety car in this lap. And we are now just 7 hours away from the resumption of the Ashes cricket series, England versus Australia. So there's a fun fact for you guys. 10:30 start. Talking about start, it's safety car restart from Dace, and he's gotten the jump on Scornsey, or has he? Because here is Scornsey trying to make the move. Dace led for the first 9 laps of this Grand Prix, but will he still lead after this chicane? It appears so, because he has the inside line though. Scornsey might try the switch back and try to get him into the upcoming chicane. Some positions swapping behind us, though everything seems relatively clean, which is probably somebody's cue to throw it into the wall at 300 miles per hour. Down the inside goes Galloway on Knuckles and puts himself number 1 on the arson target list. He's just behind Hightower in the Red Bull. Let's go back up through. Let's watch it from Cynical's perspective. Actually, we've got Coleslaw versus NLR No Jug, and No Jug making his way by on the inside. Lanzi is all over the back of Jonathan Dunk. Slayrise gets his way. Nope, never mind. Gets his way down the field. I thought he maybe had span from losing 2 positions in short succession, but no, he just had a bad couple of corners. And Lanzi's coming under pressure now from No Jug as A-Dub picks up a 3-second time penalty. Dace still with that 5-second time penalty as well, so yep, sucks to suck. Shouldn't have been a bozo. And there goes No Jug past Lanzi. No Jug probably going to end up winning this race because, I mean, of course he is. And past Jonathan Dunk he goes as well. No Jug on the charge, but Jonathan Dunk. Donathan Junk, there we are. Ooh, gives him a little tap there. I thought maybe Dunk might get back in the slipstream and then go to the inside, but it seemed that was blocked off and he had to lift off. We've got McLaren off. That's Slayerized, who has Slayerized himself. And yeah, not great. Scornsey is keeping Dace honest, but honestly, I think this race is now between No Jug and Scornsey. Both of them on, well, the 2 of them on different strategies, which will, of course, come into play. Surely No Jug's going to have to pit again. I mean, you aren't going 33 laps on medium tyres. And yes, Donathan Junk. What a name. Around the outside tries to go Lanzi, but Coleslaw maintains his defence on the inside in the Haas-mobile. He has to keep that position. Wayo. Lanzi 23. You're not 23, mate. Stop lying to yourself. Under pressure from Cynical behind. Dace at the fastest lap of the race. Then No Jug immediately reminds him that he did not win the championship last year and that it was actually him. So there we are. Cynical wants to try and make his way past Lanzi, but can't, and nearly receives some rear attention there from VTech, who looks to make the move to the inside himself, but there's no way you could dive it from there, and he puts himself in a bad line, which could put him under pressure from A-Dub. But gets away with that one, and Hightower is putting the pressure on M. Galloway. And don't you guys miss Christmas? That's cool. You know when you have all the big lights and stuff outside? Why isn't it Christmas? The weather is so fucking... it's so cold and grey and rainy that it may as well be Christmas. Why can't it just be Christmas? Anyway. Moving onwards. I wonder if I can do like a poll in chat. It'd be fun. Poll, do you wish it was Christmas? Scavney and A-Dub. 2 drivers in this grid. End of. Lanzi could be looking to make a move on Coleslaw here. To the inside he goes, and bye-bye. He goes. The DRS, of course, now enabled, and that gives him the helping hand he needs. No Jug all over the back of Scornsey. This is likely a fight for the win. However, we will have to wait and see how the strategy permutations do play out, because of course mediums and hards are two different tyre compounds. VTEC picks up a 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings on track limits. You definitely do not wish it was Christmas. Is that what I'm hearing in chat? I do hope not, because I'm in a Christmas mood tonight. God, you know what? You guys have been saved by copyright laws, because if they didn't exist, we'd have Wham on right now, full volume, Mariah Carey, we'd have it all. Oh, it'd be amazing. Christmas stream, yeah. If we have a race that. If someone can quote me on this in like, what? In like 6 months' time, remind me that this whole thing happened as no joke, takes the position down at the inside from Scornsey. If someone can come back to me on like the 10th of December and quote this stream, if I remember it, fair play, I will return, as I'm not sure if I will be doing comms next season or not with how late it is, as Cynical. And that's not the fight we need to be watching. The Williams there just went into the back of the McLaren of VTEC, and AWs is that to get past. If someone can quote this live stream for the final race before Christmas, I will do comms. And not only will I do comms, I will do comms with the camera on, dressed as Santa. It will be amazing. Cynical putting the pressure on Sharia Coleslaw. It's a mixed bag with the weather, isn't it, really, I suppose? I mean, if we were actually having summer weather now instead of, like, early spring weather, I'd probably be sat here complaining that my room was really hot and that I can't sleep. So, you know, this is... You got to look for the positives in things. This is... You know, because it's easy to look at the negatives in things and say, well, it should be hot, but it's not, it's cold. But then if it was hot, you'd be sat there going, no, it's too hot. But then, on the other hand, complaining is like top 5 most entertaining activities to do, and Slayerized should be able to witness the corpse of M. Galloway there, who's lost it, coming out of the final corner, and fortunately does not cause a safety car. Will No Jug and Dace come together and cause a safety car? I hope not. Man, I couldn't tell you what Red Bull tastes like, other than it just tastes nice. What is, like... What is that taste? I don't know. Anyhow, Scornsey picks up a 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings on track limits. That could prove crucial come the end of the race, we shall see. It's advantage No Jug though in the No Jug Dace fight, as Dace does have that 5-second time penalty that he got from being a bozo. DRS open on No Jug's car. Let's watch from Dace's perspective, and Dace must be running some low wings, because even with the DRS, No Jug not catching to the point where I feel like maybe No Jug wasn't trying there. Surely he would catch Sharia and Lanzi making his way by. Pressure is on from Cynical on Sharia Coleslaw as well. Something about that chicane and this camera angle causes that weird stuttering freezing thing. Hightower, he has gone off and he's lost a position to Knuckles. Oof. I had a sore throat the last few days, and it's been okay today, but it just returned momentarily there. As Wayo! Look at that. Fireworks. Hightower smashes a billboard to absolute smithereens. No Jug behind Dace. El Dace, as it were. The flying fish. See, 3-second time penalty for Scavney. I want to petition this. Everybody calls Dace the flying fish. Can we call him the floundering fish? I feel like that's more apt. It just seems more descriptive. Ojug still unable to take a position from Dace. Well, the floundering fish spins again. Oh, the floundering fish picks up another 5-second time penalty that was absolutely avoidable and was completely unnecessary. Just sounds better, doesn't it? Sharia putting the pressure on Lanzi still. Those guys swap positions a couple of times. Wayo, Cynical nearly swapped ends with the front and rear of his car there, but manages to keep it all intact and running in the right direction. Mercedes and the McLaren pretty flipping close together here. It's Knuckles looking to claim another victim. Perhaps the mediums starting to go off ever so slightly, though I doubt they are really going to be struggling too much at this point in time, though the wear should start accumulating soon. Dace has finally fallen to NLR No Jug. I'd actually taken my eyes off this fight because they just weren't doing anything this whole time. Dace nearly loses the rear. But yeah, there we have it. No Jug finally has gotten past Dace. Now, does Dace have the pace? Hey, it was a poet and I didn't even know it. Does Dace have the pace to stay with NLR No Jug? Or will he be a disgrace and fall out of that 1 second window? Have to wait and see. It doesn't really matter much with that penalty anyway, though. With a safety car, perhaps Dace will be okay, be able to serve that 5-second time penalty in the pit to get a new set of tyres on, and should be alright, especially considering the field has started to spread out again. Well, not started to spread out again, has spread back out again. Post safety car period. Nojo getting a little bit of oversteer there as well. 7/10 is the gap between the two adversaries. Open is the DRS on the back of Dace's car, though I don't think it will be enough for him to make a move on this straight, though it is incredibly powerful here in Imola. And I don't think Dace really wanted to go for it there. I did detect the slight sound of a lift come the end of the straight, and talking about lifting, I mean, it's Dace. He's probably underfueled the car by a lap again because he's a clown. I didn't expect to lose fuel, meh. Bloody floundering fish. And that is Scavney running wide and A-Dub lifting off and saying, no, it's alright mate, stay ahead. All the predictive analysis skills in the world there from Scavney. Couldn't predict him going wide, otherwise he wouldn't have done it. Alright. Why are the cars doing that weird jumping around thing? It's so strange. It is rather peculiar. Maybe it doesn't come through on... I mean, surely it comes through on the stream. It must do. Dace getting ever closer to No Jug, but not quite close enough. Into the pits, it's Cynical, so he has had enough of those medium tyres, and he wants a fresh set of boots. Alright. Cynical does go for the medium tyres as well, and he will come back out in P13. Of course, likely to make up some positions though with the undercut. That's one position he'll be making up rather shortly. It's Slayerized, who once again Slayerizes himself at the chicane. Sharia Coleslaw on the back of Lanzi as they approach the chicane. One of the many chicanes, but I'm still going to say the chicane because I don't have the energy, and you can look at the track map. Whoa, No Jug is into the pits. I said I didn't think those mediums were going to go to the end, and I mean, it's not like I should get a medal for that. It was pretty patently obvious, but there we are. DRS wide open now on the back of Sharia Coleslaw's car, if we can please look at that. Wow. Past Lanzi he goes, and I don't think Lanzi can fight that one back. Sharia Coleslaw retakes the position and is now up into P4 on the road. A-Dub as well, getting past Nojog, who is now exiting the pits in P8. And I already know that by the time Dace exits the pits, I mean, the gap is going to be, what, 6, probably more than that, 7 seconds to Nojog. It's probably going to be Joe. Slayer Eyes picks up a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane, because he wants to be in P1, and he sees Dace in P1 and follows his lead. But Dace won't probably be in P1 for much longer. Oh, Lanzi's absolutely mugged him off. Goodbye, Sharia Coleslaw, back down to P5. What has gone on there? It's a difficult traction zone coming out of Aqua Minerale, so perhaps Sharia Coleslaw couldn't quite live with that. I do like that coincided with the Let's Go message from Gabby in the chat. Just moments before that scene played out there, that was rather fantastic. Here we are, we can see perhaps a reenactment of the move that Lanzi just made, as Hightower gets it all wrong. Donathan Junk, the man himself, is up into P2. Lanzi as well jumps up. Dace has to serve that penalty. As talking about penalties, Scavney gets a 3-second time penalty, and onto the mediums goes Eldache, who is going to fall all the way down to P8. I live for the booze. Sharia Coleslaw struggling to stay within the DRS range of Lanzi now. What's going on? Scavney makes his way past Knuckles as well, who is now exiting the pit lane, and he should be out very comfortably ahead of Cynical, so you know, there's that at least. And Sharia has fallen out of the DRS range now of Lanzi. And then he instantly gets back within it again. No Jug on the back of A-Dub. Will he go left? Will he go right? Will he go neither? Find out on this episode of Dragon Ball Z or whatever. He messes up though, he locks up or loses traction or something happened, and he skirts over the curb and picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings on track limits, and even allows A-Dub to maybe have another look at getting back past him again, but cannot do so, unfortunately, for the AlphaTauri driver. Sharia Coleslaw is into the pits. VTEC having a very strong race up in P4, and you know what? English is difficult when it's this late at night. Like, goodness me. Words just sort of try and mush together. Now, will these two drivers mush together? Or will they keep it clean? They do keep it clean. It's A-Dub who most likely got a much worse exit onto the straight. But still, just with how powerful the DRS is, still finds himself able to challenge into turn 1. Though I'd imagine that he won't be in DRS range. I was going to say by the end of the lap, but he already is well out of it. So, 10 laps remain. The hard tyre runners of Scornsey, Jonathan, Dunk, Lanzi and VTEC, I would imagine, will be wanting to go all the way until the end of this Grand Prix. No Jug now on those fresh mediums will also be going to the end of the Grand Prix. And if he wishes to win this race, then he will have to pass Scornsey, Donathan Junk, the man himself, Lanzi and VTEC on track. So he will have to overtake those guys, and they will be fighting for position if he wishes to win this race. He's got 9 laps now remaining to pull that off. Will he do it? We can probably turn the tyre thing off. I forgot that I've just left that on this entire time. Anybody done more than 2 stops? Nope. Position changes. Who's your big winners and who's your big losers? No, I mean, I'm not giving a medal out to guess the big loser. It's Dace, obviously. Look at him. Oh, and also in this race as well. I suppose he is as well, yeah. But, yeah. I don't know if you can see it from the resolution, but I'm smirking smugly. I'm British. Smug smirking is in my DNA. VTech picking up a 3-second time penalty. That's not what he would want to be doing right now. No Jug is already on the back of him. Will VTech make this easy? Will VTech try and put up a fight? Can VTech put up a fight? Let's find out soon, but the DRS will be with NLR No Jug, and I think this will be a pretty straightforward overtake for the Mercedes man. DRS being so powerful here, you can just pull out the DRS and make the move anyway, but VTech decides that he is going to come into the pits and change tyres, so maybe the hard runners aren't all going to go to the end. 17 laps is a fair deal already, and we do still have, what, 8 laps remaining? We shall see. VTech will be exiting the pits in P9 as Sherry Coleslaw makes his way past on track. Or perhaps P10. It may be close here between him and Scavney. Not close enough for Scavney's liking. Dace will be on the charge now as well, but he's left it. Well, he's lost his ability to charge for the win by picking up that 5-second time penalty, which is completely and utterly his fault. All he had to do was not be a bozo, and not being a bozo was an insurmountable task for the floundering fish. Now, bear in mind, No Jug does have a penalty as well. Let's go have a look at penalties. 3 seconds for Scornsey, our leader. 6 seconds for Donathan Junk. Lanzi, without a single penalty, he might be quids in here. No Jug is on the 3 seconds as well. He will be finding his way easily past Lanzi into turn 1. Lanzi wisely tucks back behind him to try and gain a little bit of speed from the slipstream and try and stay with No Jug. If he can stay with No Jug, then he can pull himself all the way up to the top guys, but I fear No Jug will soon be out of the DRS range. Right about now. There we go. Yellow flags. It's the other Red Bull. It's Hightower, who ironically for a Hightower is at a pretty low point. Struggling to control the car as he gets back onto the track, and Scornsey will soon be in his rear view mirrors looking to lap him. Hightower with another penalty, 3 seconds this time, brings his total up to 12. And we have a slight lull as we wait for No Jug to reach his next victim. Who just went live on Twitch? I didn't mean to click on the bloody thing, did I? God, now I've got to mute my phone. Oh, blooming heck. There we are. Arsenal versus Barcelona. Cool. Rice, baby. That is seriously nice. No Jug really closing the distance. Then he'll have 4 seconds until Scornsey. You gotta think this is going in favour of No Jug. Scornsey and No Jug both on equal amounts of penalties as well. No Jug will of course have the DRS that we've mentioned so many times due to its incredible power. It's kind of like a Jedi. It's incredibly powerful. And that's the only way in which it's similar to a Jedi. It's not really similar to a Jedi at all, really. Can't lie, I just want to watch some Star Wars Rebels or something. Let's watch some Clone Wars. Let's have a Coleslaw Cup Star Wars The Clone Wars watch party. Let's go. Be more entertaining than watching No Jug win every race by 20 minutes. Certainly more entertaining than listening to me. Goodness gracious. Could you imagine? And yeah, No Jug on the charge. He's on so much of a charge that he doesn't even need to adhere to the track limits. He doesn't care. Talking about not adhering to track limits, it's Scavney though. I'm sure he probably does care. Or maybe not. He may have just lost all faith and hope in anything tangible in this world. Aye. Anyway. Here is Dace looking to make the move on Lanzi if he can. He does have the rear wing wide open. I didn't say those 3 letters because I've said them too many times. Can Lanzi re-challenge down the inside? He certainly plans to. Dace gets the move completed, though it does open up the space for a possible switchback, though. It's Lanzi just doesn't have the grip on those hard tyres to make it, and he does still look to the inside. Lanzi going down fighting here, but he isn't going to be able to do anything about that, unfortunately for him. Let's jump back forward to NLR No Jug, who is hovering around a second to Scornsy. And, I don't see a way that Scornsy can really battle against this. 4 laps remaining. It's Jova. I hate to say it. I think it is Jova, unless something crazy happens. Shreya makes his way past Ada, but we are watching this fight for the lead of this race, and yeah, Scornsy has to watch as his rival flies on past. You'd imagine No Jug will now disappear off into the distance, as he usually does. Not many other close fights really throughout the field. And there we go, the DRS has been broken and No Jug just needs to control this race to the finish. Let's go watch VTech. Let's watch VTech for a bit. Recline my chair. Whoa, look at this. Lie back. Oh, let's watch VTech. Hey, he's trying to get within that 1 second of A-Dub, to be fair to him. He's giving it a good go. It's going to be close, and I think he is just going to get it. So A-Dub struggling a little bit for pace. Oh, why didn't I do comms like this the whole time? Do comms from, like, in my bed. That'd be sound, there. VTech now only 0.4 of a second behind A-Dub, who seems to be really struggling for pace. I don't know if I can take my comms seriously when I'm just, like, lying down like this. Can we watch the fight, please? Oh my goodness me. Anyway, here he goes. VTech darts to the inside from the outside. No Jug picks up another 3-second time penalty. Might put him under a little bit of pressure, but not really, because he should just be able to continue to fly away from Scornsy. And yeah, VTech, good move by him on A-Dub. Let's sit back up again. Oh. We will soon be on the final lap. No Jug has just started the penultimate lap as he approaches turn 1, just controlling this race. And Coleslaw would like to finish in P6 if he can. He's got Cynical lined up in his sights. And Dace, after serving that 5-second time penalty, is now within the penalty window of Jonathan Dunk, or Donathan Junk, whichever way you would like to pronounce it. And so he is currently in a net P3, which is still not great considering the position he was in, but at least he's managed to claw back a podium. Yellow flags for a red car. Is it Jonathan Dunk? I think it was Jonathan Dunk. And it definitely was Jonathan Dunk, because the gap is now only 2.8 seconds between himself and Dace, whereas before it was about 5.5, I believe. So a significant loss of time there by Dace. Someone did just leave the session, I think, but I missed who it was, because I'm not a very diligent person. Also, I mean, it's more the fact that the phone is covering the bottom part of the screen as Scabney picks up what is 28th channel limit warning. I mean, this is just unbelievable. This is like Esteban Ocon at Austria levels of penalties. Cynical without any DRS, without any ERS either, it would appear. Not able to claw back that gap between himself and Coleslaw, who seems to be nailed on for P6. But what are the penalties ahead of him? 3 seconds from Lanzi, so Lanzi's okay, as long as he doesn't pick up another 3-second time penalty. No Jug has just 1 sector left to negotiate now. Seems to have ghosted on my screen, rather strangely, but that won't matter too much. He's about to cross the line now. Oh, he ran out of fuel. The man ran out of fuel and lost the race. Dace picks up P3. He got that last 3-second time penalty not many laps from the end, and looked to have it all under control. Ran out of fuel with a few corners to go, and Scornsey has retaken the win. Dace finishes in P3. Donathan Junk in P4 with Lanzi behind him in P5. Coleslaw only narrowly misses out on that P5, and he takes home a P6 finish for Haas. P7 is MMR Cynical, and VTech is in P8 with ADub in P9, and Scowney rounding out the top 10. Knuckles in P11, Slayerized in P12, Hightower P13, M. Galloway P14, ICER Shadow Rixon, that's the correct pronunciation, I don't care, finishes P15, and Fuse Rogue will finish this race in P16 after being disqualified, so I suppose he won't finish this race at all, in any position. Driver of the day is an LR Nojo, even though he doesn't seem to be able to lift and coast. And they had a safety car period as well, so imagine they don't have that safety car. No joke, I mean, no joke, more like no fuel. Heyo, got 'em. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, the time is 4 AM Earth time. That correlates to 11 PM Eastern, I believe, and 10 PM Central. Well, 10:02, I suppose. And I'm not going to go on continuing naming the times or the time zones. I believe the next one in the US is like Mountain Time or something weird like that. Mountain Time sounds like it's like, you know, you want to go climb a mountain? It's Mountain Time. Or like it's something in Lord of the Rings. Mountain Time. I don't know. Then it's Pacific Standard Time. And then it's like funky Polynesian time, where everyone's Polynesian and they're all funky. Moana Standard Time. Okay, we can end the stream off here before I offend anyone. Moana Standard Time. Okay, guys. thank you all for watching. Did we catch the final classification there? It flashed up for literally a millisecond. I don't know what that was. That was rather strange. F1 game, you stand accused of acting rather strangely. How do you plead? Will we... I don't think we will see the final standings. I mean, we did go through them anyway on the stream at the end of the race. No, we return to the lobby. Strange for them to pop up for just a second and then to disappear shortly afterwards. Anyway, I will bid you all a very good night.